called, but few were chosen. The numbers are rising and showing. Every time we gather up, you see us growing. Red tie, navy blue suits when we rolling. Walk a straight and narrow path as if we bowling. And we trust and we think no room for hoping. Power don't play, we ain't joking. Feel the realness in my voice when it's spoken. Every day false dreams are being sold and somebody's broken. That's what you get when you left hoping. Vulnerable to it when you left open. After hours, I'm sorry but we closing. Get rid of it, perish the parasite. Then I wish you would like a termite. So what you gonna do? Fight or flight? Pass all the obstacles and continue with my life.
I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray. I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray.
After every dark tunnel there was some light. Traveling through it, got you saying this is some life. Can't count on your words like singing on karaoke mics. You couldn't walk a mile in my blue Nikes. You would fall off the path and lose sight. Every day making my way to reach new heights. Can't do nothing about the circumstance of yesterday. Just preparing the road leading to a better way. Home sweet home is where you wanna stay. Protected from the madness of today. It don't make it no better when they threatening to take it all away. Bottle all my emotions up and throw it all away. I'm finna show them power don't play. So don't be smiling in my face. Every day bloodlines being erased. For goodness sakes, so tell me, do you got what it takes?
I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray. I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray.
Follow the image of my descendants on the path that's continuous, never ending. Like a new beginning, consistently walking into the next. Shit that old, if it hinders the evolution, then let it go. We have the total control. Dictate what you say and where you go. The leaders of the next world, because this one is ending. Let's be real, no more pretending. Everything that okay, just sugarcoat it. You believe everything they say when you quote it. You learned it from school, now you think you know it. Miseducated from the start. It will dismantle your mind apart. Leave you in the dark about who you are and where you're going. Existing in life, not never knowing. Your mind not growing. It's limited, real ignorant. Since birth, they've been trying to put an end to it.
I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray. I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray. I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray. I gotta keep moving. Can't let nothing stand in my way. Stay on a path, never go astray.
All right. How's everybody doing? It's High and Mighty Talks today. Thanksgiving. Not that I give a damn about Thanksgiving, but it's a good time to get together with the family. Mom's here, wives are here, children are here, everybody's here. And, we have a little get together. So like I said, it's just a good excuse to have a good get together. And now that we are acknowledging ourselves as the true indigenous people of this land, the ethnic Americans, right? The descendants of the Olmecs, the Aztec, the Inca, and the Mayan people, factually, it is a time that we start to, put more emphasis on what these holidays, especially the so-called Thanksgiving and the whole sharing of the turkey and all this business and where it came from, the origins of that. Not that I'm going to get off into that. I got other things to get off into. But before I start off, I want to always start in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and in Amen we continue forward forever. I'm going to be touching a few things, some timely things, some subjects that just on my mind. And like I said, I'm going to be pretty brief and to the point with it. The first thing I want to address this Kyrie Irving thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to say on this Kyrie Irving thing. The whole thing about Kyrie Irving apologizing, and ultimately what that means to so-called black men here in America. What does it mean that a person like a Kyrie Irving, right, has apologized and basically been degraded? Right, that's my daughter in the background. What does that really mean? That a Kyrie Irving, someone who is supposed to be, alpha man and, athlete and things like that, big time athlete, alpha man, how he's being made by Caucasians, right, to basically break himself mentally, physically, and financially. He's being made to break himself, or they're breaking him for trying to bend him into submission. And I said this before and I say it again. This is nothing but a holdover from the time he didn't want to take the vaccines and things like that. And a lot of these Caucasians, especially the ones that got money, the ones who classify as Caucasian, the Caucasian elites, they don't like to see so-called black men stand up as men. They don't like to see ethnic American men. I'm going to get rid of using that word black. I got to practice what I, teach. And that is, we as ethnic Americans, they don't like to see ethnic American men stand up. I don't want to use the word black man. That's all done, all that black and African American and Negro nonsense out the window. They don't like to see ethnic American men stand up. Right? They don't like to see them stand up because ethnic American men, aka so-called black men, Negroes, whatever they call us, we're supposed to, or in their mind, we're supposed to kowtow, buck dance, and be weak. Whereas Caucasian males in this society are allowed to stand up and be strong and assert their voice. Ethnic American men, so-called black men, are expected to bow down to their master. You see, the mindset is still a master-slave relationship. It's something funny. This guy, Skip Bayless, said, I don't even watch that show. It's the guy Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Skip Bayless, they say he made a little Freudian slip, but it really wasn't a Freudian slip, because this is what is in the back of their mind. He said something along the effects of Kyrie Irving's owner. He said Kyrie Irving's owner, something. He said, I'm going to find that. It was on Tariq Nasheed's last podcast where they said it was a mistake. He said Kyrie Irving's owner. No, it wasn't a mistake. I told you before, in the back of these Caucasian males' minds, you so-called black men, you ethnic American men, are boys. You're slaves, and this is the whole reason why they get into the whole thing of owning basketball teams, these wealthy Caucasians. They get into owning basketball teams because they like the idea of owning so-called black men. They feel as though they own them. And what you saw happen with Kyrie Irving and him apologizing like a punk, which he shouldn't have apologized. He should have stood up on his square like a man and said, to hell with it. You're not going to break me. You're not going to have me talking like I'm a little boy. I'm a grown-ass man. This is a job I do. If you don't like it, I don't have to play anymore. He got enough money to retire on, and he got about his business. Not to mention the windfall he's going to get when they have to give him all that back money from the time he wasn't allowed to play for not taking the vaccine. They're going to have to pay him. And all you people in New York City, whereas it has been ruled unconstitutional for the government to sit here and tell people or allow jobs and things like that to tell people, if you don't take some vaccine, right, experimental at best, you're not going to get you're not going to be able to work and feed your damn family. That's extortion. That's forcing people. They say, oh, we're not forced. Yes, you are forcing people. If people have to choose between feeding their families, they don't have jobs and things, time's hard out here, people are going to take that vaccine. That's what you're hoping on. That's why you try to apply pressure. But that has been ruled unconstitutional. So a lot of people who did not buckle, who did not bend, who did not crease, y'all got money coming. I tell my little brother that all the time. Y'all got money coming. Back money. Used to work on the job and whatnot. I tell him, y'all got back money coming. Stay on them about that. They really wanted to affect so-called black people, ethnic Americans, because they know we're the most vulnerable when it comes to things like this. Our people on jobs, so we're the most vulnerable. But like I said, it was a bad look for him to apologize because it was just, you know, like I said, Kyrie Irving is a proxy for all so-called ethnic American men, all ethnic American men, so-called black men. He's a proxy. They want all so-called black men to be punks. They want you all to punk out. They all want you. They want these Caucasians. They want you to punk out. The Caucasian elites want you so-called black men to punk out. These are the same ones. These are the same ones that got these black rappers wearing dresses, right, doing all kind of questionable things. The same people who they introducing into the industry because they're trying to create a different environment for the future. The Caucasian elites who control the society, right, they're trying to create a different environment for the society. Whereas in this future society, the so-called black man is a homosexual. Ethnic American man is a homosexual, right? And the so-called ethnic American woman, the black woman, the so-called black woman, the ethnic American woman is a lesbian or she's with a Caucasian male. This is what they're trying to promote. This is what's trying to be promoted here in this society. All right. Watch the can y'all watch this thing, make sure I don't have any questions, keep an eye on the chat. But that's what the whole thing is. They're trying to get, you know, they're trying to basically put a wedge between ethnic American men and ethnic American women and bust up ethnic American families. This is why you're seeing, you know, what's happening with Kyrie Irving. He's just collateral damage in a whole long list of so-called black men, ethnic American men getting harassed by the police. You see it being redlined in their neighborhoods, being gentrified in their neighborhoods. It's an attack. It's a soft attack, but it's still nonetheless an attack on ethnic American men. And it's an attack on ethnic American manhood, which brings me to the next thing. The restoration of ethnic American manhood is important. Why do I say that? And what does ethnic American manhood look like? What does it look like? It looks like bronze men. It looks like bronze men, those copper-colored men, those men of iron, those men of steel, those men of fine, precious metal, those strong men. You see, that precious metal. That's what it looks like, strong men, bronze men, right? Whereas we started off as copper-colored elemental beings, bronze men and bronze women. We started off that when in the 1828 Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it's describing specifically our people as the copper-colored races. It's specifically telling our people, describing our people as the copper-colored people, right? The copper-colored races or tribes or who are indigenous to America, right? That's our people who are falsely being called black people. You know, our skin is not black. And I've said this 1,000 times. I've been trying to break this black program on our people, you see. And of course, the Caucasian elites and all that, they want to keep the black and white thing going because they're going to always want you so-called black men to be the bottom while they're the top. No homo. That's the thing these solids say. I call them solids, bottoms and tops. But basically, it's a form of buck breaking where they want to be on top of our men. They want to stay on top of our men. They want to harass our men. They want to test our manhood. Well, it's going to come a time where the bronze men are going to be separated from the weak black boys. The bronze men, the real men of precious metal, precious iron, precious steel, precious carbon, all of that, those fine, strong men, those real men are going to stand up. Those men of honor are going to stand up. Those men of intelligence are going to stand up. And they're going to stop being black boys. They're going to stop being so-called black men because, as I told you before, there's no such thing as black men. There's no such thing. There are no black men. Black men were created in the minds of Caucasian elites. And really, it's really black boys. They don't consider you black males men. That's why they say black male in the vicinity, black male this, black male that. They don't consider you men. They consider you boys. Reason being is because our people are weak, they soft, You get all agitated and hyped up with each other. You ready to kill each other over stupidity. I done watched about 8 or 9 of these goddamn podcasts in the last couple of weeks. And it's no coincidence that on all these podcasts with these guys that's supposed to be rappers and all these hip-hop cultural people, so-called hip-hop people, it's always some kind of arguing or fighting or, you know, some beef. And I'm like, really? Whether it's some gang stuff, whether it's some hip-hop beef, whether it's some Twitter beef, whether it's whatever beef you guys got, that's little boy stuff. That's little boy shit. Real talk. You men need to be protecting your communities. You men need to be at home to protect your communities, protect your families, protect your babies. Protect them from the real enemies out here who want to see your babies dead, who want to see you dead, who want to see your women as bed wenches, want to see your sons as sodomites. That's the real enemy out there, not each other. Y'all going in on each other over nonsense, arguing with each other over foolishness. What kind of people or what kind of group of people, you know, do infighting amongst each other when they being attacked from the outside and then y'all attacking each other from the inside? What sense does that make? You see, y'all don't have no respect for each other because you don't know what your true culture is. You don't know what your true heritage is. You don't know what your true names and knowledge is. Like I said, that's being restored amongst our people today. Because I said this before and I said it again, my message is to raise up the bronze men in America. In fact, I got a book coming out, a message to the bronze men. I might just call it a message to the bronze man. You know, I'm basically picking up where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad left off. Not going to be regurgitating nothing he said because I never really read Message to the Black Man. But I want to pick up in my time and take it forward and make it relevant to today, because we should be going from so-called black males or black men, meaning men in darkness, men in ignorance. That's what when I hear black man and black woman, that sounds to me like men and males and females, or men and women in darkness. That's what I hear when I say black man. That's why. So I can't even I'm starting to even fix my mouth to say black man and black woman no more. But I just say it so you know who I'm referring to, the so-called. That's why I say so-called black men and so-called black women. Even Honorable Elijah Muhammad put it that way, so-called, because I guess he knew it would come a time where we would no longer have to use that terminology which came from these Caucasians. They call us black people, and they call themselves white. And I keep trying to get that through our people's heads as I'm doing these to break you off of that black spell, that black programming. Also, the restoration of ethnic American womanhood is necessary. Right along with ethnic American manhood, the restoration of ethnic American womanhood, sisterhood. You see, you got a lot of bronze women out here, ethnic American women out here, who are being preyed upon, by, these males of different races. And the reason why this happening is because these women, or I should say these females who have not grown into women, they don't realize that they need their men for protection. They should put their men first for protection and for love and for family and everything else. They need to be putting their men first. But you have to build a economic base, a cultural base. Things have to be built, a ultra standing of heritage and where you're going, what the future holds for our people. See, this is the foundation that we need to build on as ethnic Americans. We should not go further, the intelligent ones of our people, we should not go further as a people unless we're going further as ethnic American men and women, because we are the ethnicity of this country. We are the ethnicity of America. Make no mistake about that. We can drop the black thing, because I always said this before. Our relationships, our household, everything that we had and stood for was intact at one time until we allowed ourselves to become black. When they started making us blacks and Negroes and pushing us into those terminologies, notice how our businesses fell down. And it's sad to say, but when we were colored, it seemed like we had more. We had independent businesses in our own neighborhoods, in our own sections. And as soon as we became black and we were, basically conned into shopping and giving our money to these Caucasians and their outlets instead of supporting ourselves. We watched all of our wealth go down the toilet. We watched all of our businesses and everything because, you know, we had no other choice but to rely on that because they wasn't trying to serve us, but it was costing them money. And again, like I told you before, they don't want to see so-called black people come up in this country. They don't want to see the ethnic American rise in this country. Again, I told you it was a time while people had all the land and we were the ones that were harvesting the land and growing on the land as the Mayan people. We came here over 1,100 years ago, well, even further back, as the Mayans and the Aztecs. And we are the descendants of the Mayans and the Aztecs. All mixed too. We got all mixed here. We got a little bit of everything. We all mixed in. But every so-called black person that was born here in America, who are ethnic American, those copper-colored people, the ones who were born here, who have family that go back past slavery and things like that, and enslaved and go back, you people didn't come from Africa. You people are ethnic Americans. You are natives to America. You are the descendants of the Olmecs, the Aztec, the Inca, or the Mayan, which were very huge nations of people. We come out of that. We don't come out of any tribal African lineage. We do not. That is a lie. And I've been saying that. So that is a beautiful thing to restore our families on, our communities on. And I've started that process in doing that because it's not about being against nobody. It's not about being against Caucasians or anybody else. It's about being for us. And I'm for us. Unlike these other people who are not really for us, who claiming like they for us. A lot of these so-called people are still claiming black and Negro and African American. Anything with black, a lot of times those people are not for us, man. Those people, anything talking about pro-black and stuff, those people are not for us because you're saying pro-darkness, pro-ignorance. No, the people who are truly for us are speaking this message as ethnic Americans. And that's right now, so far, that's just me. And that's, you know, I'm not looking for nobody else. Check. That's another thing. When it again goes with this Kyrie Irving thing, but I'm gonna springboard into something else. You know, I'm sick and tired of all people walking around here. You have me a little glass of wine on this. And I'm not drinking, but I'm having a little sip. Oh, very good. This issue of pride and acknowledgement, not from the outside people, not from the other, you know, groups, but from us. Because how you think about yourself first and foremost is way more important than how others think about you. If you think highly of yourself and carry yourself highly, then others are going to have the same. They're not going to have, but that, you know, nothing else but to think of you as. They're going to have to think of you on a higher level. They're going to have no other choice because you're not going to leave people options. See, the problem with our people is, so-called black people, ethnic American, is we leave too many people options to play games with us. Y'all niggas leave too many options for people to play with y'all. You let all these different races of people play with y'all. You see, you think it's a game. Y'all think it's a game. That's why I kind of was on that Tariq Nasheed thing. I kind of was like on him a little bit when he was doing his thing on, and again, no shot to Tariq Nasheed, but you know, I can't stand seeing grown ass men in their 50s still talking about running game. I can't stand to see grown ass men. Tariq Nasheed, you about in my age range. You in your 50s, just like me. You know, I don't like to see, and again, you do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do, whatever. Don't know, don't care if you see it, don't know, don't care. But I don't like seeing grown ass men who get a platform, who sit up here and try to sell games, running games on women, and life is a macking and hoeing and macking and pimping and using pimping and hoeing as an analogy for life. What? As a what's the word? An analogy? Is that the right word? Analogy? As an analogy for life. He said, talked about using pimping and hoeing. I just want to make sure my words are correct. You know, using pimping and hoeing as an analogy for life. And I was like, what? You see, this is why we as people can't build trust with each other and can't build community, because we got a lot of people amongst us who thinking about pimping and hoeing and trying to use each other and use our people. We got to cut that shit out, man. You got to cut that out. If you're not going to build a community with people got the mindset to use people and pimping people and hoeing people and having that mentality, that's the Caucasian's mentality. That's the Caucasian mentality. Because he sat up there and said, you know, oh, this country, the white man been pimping on people, and this country been pimping on people, this, that, and the third. And he said a pimp is one who works for himself, and a hoe is one that works for people. And I'm like, wow, really? Then that means you're calling the people that support your product hoes? Because everybody's not meant to be a boss. Because a lot of work goes into being a boss. More work than it does going into being a worker, whether you know it or not. Everybody's not cut out to be a boss. You see, everybody's not cut out to be a boss. Everybody can't be a worker and everybody can't be a boss. You got to have one boss. You see, you got to have one boss. You got to have somebody that runs the ship. You got people who can't function without people running the ship. You got people who just like to get their checks every week and, you know, just go to work and know that their check is going to be there at the end of the week. Why would you call those people hoes? Why would you refer to those people as hoes, the people that support your product? And so if you're not working and they support your product and you get money off them, are you a pimp and they hoes? That's a terrible analogy. That's a terrible analogy to give to our people when we trying to establish community. This is why people don't trust each other. You talk about staying on code. How the hell people want to stay on code when you trying to promote a pimp and hoe mentality to the people? What kind of code is that? I'm just asking. Because if you're trying to build a community, you say you're not a leader, but if you're trying to build a community, then part of building a community is building trust. You can't build trust when you're talking about, oh, macking and pimping and you know, life is an analogy. And again, if that's your personal mantra, Tariq Nasheed, fine, that could be your personal mantra. But don't give that to the babies. Don't give that to the people that listen to you, who you influence, and you coming with this macking and pimping and running game on women nonsense and all that game. Real men don't play games. Real women don't play games. We mean what we say. We say what we mean, and we mean what we say. When we deal with each other, we straight up. We ain't got time to play games with nobody. You heard it from me first. We keeping it 1,000 in here. Shout out to 1,000 go-aheads. You need to come back and make some goddamn videos. Like your videos, man. Shout out to Karimio and even what's my man's name? Not Abimortal. Shout out to him. He need to come back. Abimortal, you need to come back. And what's my man? Dane Calloway. I even like your stuff now, Dane Calloway. You was a little long-winded at first, but I got used to you. I like your stuff now. Let me look. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget the Lourdes. Enra Venzetta. Check out Enra's sister Venzetta on Ethnic American channel. One of our personal historians from the American Republic. Sister Enra Venzetta. Check her out. Go and subscribe to Ethnic American channel on YouTube. The Ethnic American channel. That's affiliated and associated with us. All right. Well, someone touch. Second up? Oh, yeah. We do something in our community, you know, that's called mergers. We don't do marriages. We do mergers. I'm only mentioning this because this is one of the topics I want to touch on. We, as ethnic Americans, we do things totally different or we're striving to do things totally different than what our former black predecessors did. We're striving to do something better in our relationships and the rearing of our children. We're striving to do greater things, better things on a higher level than our black predecessors did. And the reason why I refer to them as our black predecessors is because we are preceding the black race. This is all about evolution. And in this next stage, in this next evolution, we want ourselves to be known as ethnic American. We don't want to be known as African American because we're not from Africa and we're not African at all. We don't want to be known as black because our skin is not black. Okay? At all. We don't want to be known as Negroes Because again, Negro is Spanish. We don't want to be known as Moors. We don't want to be made any reference to as black. Our skin is not black. Our skin is copper colored. And there's copper colored bronze men and copper colored bronze women, bronze men and bronze women, ethnic Americans. Our relationships are going to be different. We do what's called mergers in our community. In the ethnic American community, we do mergers. We don't do marriages. All right. We don't do marriages. Reason being is because, you know, marriage is linked to the religious foundation of what, what is in the confines of religion or what they tell you a marriage is. Again, the very same people that define marriage or say you can't have more than one spouse or whatever the case may be, these are the very same people that are telling you men could get married, women could get married, males could get married, females could get married. You can mess with children. You can do all this madness. And these are the same people that are sitting up here dictating the rules of engagement when it comes to marriage and courtship and then we don't do that in our community. We merge like companies. I always say we should be, when you merge with somebody, it should be like two companies merging together. You see, because everything is business. When men and women link up together, it's business. It's supposed to be business. You see, this old saying, my man Rudy Ray Moore, he said, romance without finance is a damn nuisance. Romance without finance is a damn nuisance. I got to give it one more. Say it one more time. Romance without finance is a damn nuisance. You see, shout out to Rudy Ray Moore. Mr. Dolomite. So that's what we do. We merge with one another. Men and women merge in our community. Only men and women. Okay? Yeah, I just got to let that be said. So in this connection, you get the strongest attributes from your partner. And this is the mold we want to set. And this is why I say we want our people, as we are reestablishing our community, the ethnic American community, as we are reestablishing our community, we want the intelligent ones of our people who are tired of being fake African Americans, tired of being fake black people, tired of being fake Negroes, or whatever they calling you today, or what they're going to be calling you tomorrow. Those you need to come about that. We're going to put up our community link to our site, American Republic Worldwide. This community is for all copper-colored people who are linked to the Americas, whether you be from North America, bronze, copper-colored people from North America, Mexico, South America, those bronze, copper-colored people, okay? So-called black. We even got some of our people in Africa and the UK. It's all over. This is a worldwide community. And we need to have this worldwide community to reestablish ourselves as a people again. And we have every right to use that term ethnic American because this is not a terminology that was created by me. This is a terminology that applies to us because we are the ethnicity of America. We got to go from that whole black and Negro and African American thing to ethnic American, the intelligent ones of our people. Because I said this before and I'll say it again. We don't want everybody to wear that. We don't want everybody to sport that and wear it like it's a damn dirty do-rag and then they just throw it to the side. No. This is something we want our children to carry in pride. So we don't want no gangbangers, no drug dealers, no, we want the X ones. If you're going to come out of that, that's fine. But we want the intelligent ones of our people. We don't want no fox and none of this, hood rats and everything. No, thank you. We want the intelligent ones of our people because we want the cream of the crop of our people to come together going forward so that we can make a greater society, a greater people. And that's what life is in totality about, the continuation of your people. I asked this question. This is a bonus because I'm about to wrap it up soon. Why didn't no bronze men that are team owners in the NBA, yet the NBA is over 90%, more than 90%, I must say, more than 90% bronze men, ethnic American men. Why are there no ethnic American owners in the NBA? Why not? It's the same reason why people like Kyrie Irving and them sitting around here apologizing and saying they sorry when they for nothing. For nothing. You see, it's the same reason why when you so-called black men get money, I gotta ask a question, is it really y'all money? You so-called athletes, celebrities, and is it really your money, or is it that somebody's giving you an allowance? Because I'm starting to think that if they could get you to talk about you gotta apologize like you a little boy, I'm starting to wonder, these people give you niggas an allowance like children? Because y'all sure act like children with your money. You don't do nothing to help support your people. You don't do nothing. You don't give no money to nothing. It's like you got to get your money cleared by your Caucasian handlers to let you give money to this. I had a brother that was with us at one point in time, wanted to come with us. Not going to mention his name, the one football player. And like I said, his handlers had obviously an issue with our stance and what we're about, which it should be nobody damn business. You see, they tell you so-called black men, they tell you you ain't free to have your own thoughts on things. If you don't think the way they want you to think, then you're gonna get disciplined like a little boy. We're gonna take your money. We're gonna take you, make you stand in the corner. We're gonna make you niggas rub your head and hop and rub your stomach and jump on one leg or whatever they could think to do to humiliate you. And you sit up here and take that. It's all the money in the world ain't worth you trading your manhood. And one thing, Kyrie Irving, they was trying to get you to denounce the Hebrew Israelites. That's one thing I'll say about them. They came out and showed up and showed out, and then that's good that they showed their support for you. But Kyrie Irving, you really shouldn't have just made a little boy out of yourself. Don't come strong and then come weak. Keep it all the way, because again, you stood strong on the jab. You should have stood strong on this. Tell them to kiss your ass from Brooklyn with love. And that guy who owned the Nets, this guy Sai or Say, the Asian guy, all the stuff he supports in China and whatnot, he got the nerve to tell Kyrie Irving what he got to say. He operating like he a Caucasian Jew, the Asian. That's how he's operating. He acting like he one of them. And obviously he's an honorary master because, again, when they let you buy, they got to let you buy a team. You can't just come with money and buy. That's like I said, they control that. They decide who they let own a team. And you know what you so-called black men should do? You ethnic American men who playing basketball, you should take all your money and start your own league and start recruiting talent yourself and start your own goddamn league. So you can be owners and masters yourself of your own destiny. Stop being little boys for these Caucasian males. Stop being their goddamn little boy. Kyrie Irving, you and the rest of those niggas who sit up here and supposed to be athletes, some ex-athletes, Shaq, and all of y'all made fools out of your goddamn selves. You made fools out of yourselves. And I guess it's worth making a fool out of yourself for money. See, because that whole hustle in that game, and you'll do anything for money. That's why I said nobody should even give them no kind of energy at all. Shouldn't support nothing these guys do. Don't watch none of the stuff they let the white man have them. Let them watch them since that's they boys. You they niggas. But I don't think I got nothing else to say. I had my say. Subscribe to High and Mighty Talks. Subscribe to the Ethnic American channel, Sister Enra Vanzetta, and also subscribe to my MENTELLECT Patreon, where I could go on and say some more things. And it's going to be a little more raw and uncut and just the realest. But I can't say too much on here. I can only say with so much. So, I don't want no monetization on this channel. I just want to get a message out here to my people, the intelligent and serious ones of my people. So, I got any questions before I close out? No? All right, so this was a little short impromptu one. We'll be back another couple of days, whatever comes on my mind, let me say this real quick. The proper way to smoke marijuana while I'm thinking about it. When you roll your joints, do not stuff your joints. That's the key to getting the maximum of your marijuana. If you want to get a nice buzz, a nice feeling off of it, or a nice relaxing vibe off of it. Do not stuff it. See, because when you stuff your joints, you know, the oxygen, you know, you don't get the maximum amount of oxygen level you need when you're inhaling. Don't take it down in your lungs. Don't do that. You just you know, you need the oxygen level. It's like anything. If you pack it too much, it's going to burn slow and you're going to have to inhale harder. And if you have to inhale harder, that's going to be, you know, work on your lungs and things like that, because now you're pulling in. You shouldn't have to pull. You should just go a light pull. It should not be stuffed. You'll get a better buzz out of it. You'll get a better high out of it. I don't even like to use the word high because it's more of a relaxed feeling. I don't like to use the word high because people think high, they associate high with drugs. This is not a drug. This is an herb that relaxes you. As simple as that. So we are getting the ultimate and relaxation from our herbal, you know, our herbal essence over here. But that's it. I'm going to close out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. And Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and in Amen we continue forward forever. Subscribe to MENTELLECT Patreon. And that's it. I'm out.